I did go to uni. Now, I am from Cornwall, and in my comparison world of what is good and bad, as we all live in that bubble, right? Lots of people around me were getting married. I got married when I was 18 and went to uni, married, and saved up my very menial amount of money and decided to buy a little terraced house, which is why we went, up to the Midlands, because that's what we could get at the time. And all during uni, I was like, we renovated it. And so we didn't do a normal uni experience. We went there because we had wildly different grades. And that was like the one place where we could get in, where it was really good for mine and he could get in. And we could get this place. So we did that. And when I was there, my dad passed away. And that was a real shocker. And then, I was newly married, moved away from home. And then I sort of quickly realised, okay, this is weird. And then we decided, and we did decide, a lot of people think that it wasn't a decision, but we decided to have our son. And I thought it would take a long time, actually. So there'd been some fertility things in my family. Oh. And then it didn't. And so, bang, first go.
Wow.
Pregnant. So there's me now, looking genuinely like I was about 15 years old. And I was pregnant at university. And then they said to me, you can't do this now because all this stuff's gone on. I'd gone back, when my dad died. And I did, and basically I was like, no, I will have my son. I'm having my son. And so I didn't take a year out or anything. I did it. And, we had 2 jobs. I had 2 jobs at the time as well.
Oh my gosh.
Like 2 different jobs. And then, so then I had him. So then I taught myself my degree mainly. And I, was going in and properly like breastfeeding the loos, walking up all these steps of pregnant with like baby fingers coming out and like looking out my stomach like I was there's an alien in there. And then my grandma died. And then that was another big blow because we've been really close because, I stayed with her quite a bit when my dad was unwell. And she also moved next door to us twice, which is quite hilarious. So it was a weird time, but I don't look back at it thinking, oh, what a horrible time at all. I really don't. And I look back at it with a sense of real achievement because I did work hard and I did really experience everything that I was feeling, the grief and all of it. Actually, even at the time, I was processing all of that. And then I say one of my happiest moments actually was like going to that board at, when they do all the results on the day. And I went to the board and I looked at my name and I was like, I got first. And it was the highest they'd ever had. And I was like, right, we can do stuff in life. Things are possible. And that just gave me the bug, actually. I always look back at that when people say, oh, how do you do these things? And it's like, well, you've got to accrue evidence and celebrate the little things until you are really okay with celebrating yourself.
That's amazing. I love that, this idea of just accruing the evidence. I'm just trying to think about someone who's listening to this. He might be perhaps not feeling at their strongest mentally, emotionally, physically. And the lesson I really take from that, well, there's quite a lot, but it's just do one thing today. Just do one tiny thing that you couldn't do yesterday and build. And it can be so tempting to set yourself these really high goals. And I think that's what we tend to do in life anyway, particularly in the Western culture. And it's why I think a lot of us feel imperfect or less than. But actually, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. And actually, in that whole story, you didn't talk about anyone else's expectations. But I'm sure at the time, there must have been people who looked at you when you were the pregnant first year.
Oh, yeah.
Who were like...
Yeah.
Or who were not saying what you could see they were thinking, which is, this is a bad idea. And yet you somehow put something between you and that to enable you to move forward and get her first.
Yeah.
Do you know what that was?
It was mindset. And it was exploring my feelings, because I did have ways in which they weren't honed at that stage, let me tell you that. But I had the basics taught to me by my parents about how to do that. So I had that up my sleeve a bit, you know.